Well, it's been summer in the West End, and this is T Junction, and I'm your host, Tracy McLean Lowe. And within this wonderful Labor Day weekend, um, we've literally gone straight from summer to autumn, space of like 3 days. And I do hope everybody had a nice Labor Day weekend. The sun was out here in the West End and across Toronto, in fact. And I think everybody's had a nice end to the holiday with the air show as well. And mentioning the air show, one must also mention that on Labor Day, still many, many others were laboring away to make sure we were either safe or happy, fed, cared for. So to doctors, nurses, fire service, rescue, police, and everybody out there still working hard on Labor Day weekend, thank you very much for being there. Myself, I had a great summer wandering around the various areas, and I still got so much to do. It's like you just seem to hit a pocket and you move on, and then you hit another pocket, and then you realize after hitting all these pockets, you have missed a bunch of pockets to shop in. So anyway, I started up in the northern end of Oakwood Village. I started up at the 5 Points Bar and Grill, sports bar and grill. They survived through COVID. They were going long before COVID as well. Like many businesses, there are still quite a few in the area that have been going strong for up to 40 years on Oakwood Avenue. But some of the new ones are, and we'll just have to go back to that in a minute, is the Wild Blue Bakery. They're down on Rogers and Oakwood Avenue. New additions, of course, is artwork everywhere. We've got butterflies on pavements outside the libraries, flowers in gardens, making everything look pretty at this time of year. We've got the 5 Points again, where I started, the Red Scale Bake Shop and Coffee Stop. They also do light sandwich rolls. You've got the artwork at Casa Abria. Yeah, and that was just this week's tour. If you go back through all the other videos, you'll see where I have done little tours through certain parts of St. Clair West, Hillcrest, Cedar Vale, Eglinton Avenue West, Regal Heights. So I've been going around, and it's been a wonderful summer, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and so enjoyed this last weekend here. Now, specifically, we're going to be talking about today the concept of online versus in-store shopping. Now, things have progressed quite dramatically for in-store shops, especially small neighborhood in-store shops. While it's taking some time for Eglinton Avenue West to sort of like come back to roaring speed again, you could see this year on St. Clair West, after 3 years of almost silence on the streets because of COVID, the people were back out. They were busy. There was the farmers market that's been there throughout the summer at the Artscape Witchwood Barns. There was salsa on the street. The people are out shopping. There were the clothes. There were the pets. They were eating out. The restaurants were relatively full. The brunch stores were relatively full. So St. Clair West was really coming alive, and Eglinton West was starting to make a good start back there. And this, in fact, is a good thing, because when one takes a look at the statistics, granted these are largely out of the USA, and they're pretty average in the USA, possibly even here for Canada as well. But 47% of US adults prefer shopping in store. And I think Canadians and probably the British people are a little bit different on the numbers here. But in-store shopping is still very important. You've only got 50% of your younger millennials that actually shop online, that literally don't shop online. They're shopping in store. 27% of the older millennials are still shopping in store. because those are when you get to see the things, you get to feel, you get to try them on. You get to be with your family when you're doing this. This isn't a late night thing that you're trolling through the internet, trying to make that, trying to fulfill a guilty secret of something one desires. One of the biggest flaws for online shopping, of course, and this is for the shopper, is ta-da. But at the same time, it goes to the supplier as well, retailer. You've got everything packed up in a warehouse. It's just labeled on shelves. It's never been opened, never seen. You have no idea what the quality control is like on the product that you've got stashed away in a plastic bag on a shelf. Whereas in store, you can put it out. The moment you see there's something dodgy with it, you can send it back to the wholesaler or the manufacturer and say, I don't want this, give me my money back. This is harder to do online. Other problems that come from online as well are, well, here, have a blue carpet for your lounge, but really it's the doll's house lounge that you're thinking of. Whereas in store, with a little bit of curb appeal, basically saying, come in, we're awesome. We'll probably have what you're looking for. And if you don't want to go traipsing through too many shops to find exactly what you're looking for, you'll find that one thing in our store you might love. It might even just be a smaller impulse buy. There are things that you do in store when out shopping than you will ever do online shopping. Online is a, oh, I want these. Oh, I've seen these. I want those. You are pushed totally by the advertising that you're getting through social media and online. Whereas in store, you can browse for things that you're not being advertised. The stuff's not being advertised. You'll be surprised. You'll be more often surprised by the things that are bought in store. So retailers who have stores should not feel, yeah, it's really, really hard work when you're a lone business person trying to run a retail store. But your stores are still important. In fact, they're even more so important than malls because people don't want to, after being locked in under COVID, we don't want to be locked in a mall, happy for an hour and a half at the cinema, but all afternoon locked in this airless mall. As after COVID, especially for a lot of people, become very, very claustrophobic. Everything is entirely far too expensive. It's been shipped from all around the world. And that's another thing. The moment you're shipping from online, you're then not just shipping one way to a bunch of stores across the country. You're multiplying that delivery 1,000, a million-fold. In the USA, and then on top of it, it's returns. If you're shopping from neighborhood stores, you can walk down and give it the return back yourself. Catch the TTC. At the very most, you maybe take a car ride. But with sending stuff back to Amazon and you're in Britain and you bought it from a site in America, it's going back and forth across the seas, and the environmental impact is like outstanding. And so you have to really, really be careful into assuming that online businesses are better. Online businesses have a value, and if you are, for example, going the more hybrid route, which it is, you've got the hybrid retail where you've got retailers who are selling on the street, but because of the type of product they're doing, while I was up at the Eglinton West Farmers Market, there was Spiky Food, and they do a wonderful array of Jamaican food products. But he's a kitchen business. They're a kitchen business. So they rent out a kitchen, they cook their stuff, and they're distributed to other stores. So those other stores are effectively selling them for them. So this works quite well for some of these food places and bakeries as well. So they can sell to restaurants, sell to coffee shops, sell to bagel stores. They're selling fresh baked goods. So those are the kinds of, and I got onto this particular concept from a young lady I met at the farmers market at Eglinton West, and she has just recently got a retail store out on Broadview. Now, her products are made from recycled goods and bamboo, and I think primarily bamboo, not just recycled goods from her perspective. And she's just recently through the summer had a store, and she's struggling. Now, I'm from the photos that she had in the pictures, her store looks very warehouse-like. And people don't like shopping in warehouses. We don't like to see boxes with stuff hidden. We can't see the product when it looks like a warehouse. Now, I don't know if that's what her entire store looks like. I know when she had her stall out at the market, it was bright, it was colorful, it had all the products shown for everybody to see who was walking past. They weren't terribly expensive. They were very much fashion accessories or beauty accessories and stuff like that. So cosmetic accessories. So really those kind of things are also impulse buys at other stores. So while she can have part warehouse, part retail store, part office, she needs to dress the windows and her shelves within the store as she would a retail store. And the one thing which I'm sure everybody knows is this goes inside and out. You've got to give it curb appeal. If you've got a crappy website, your product's not going to sell. Doesn't matter how pretty you think your product is. You have to really, really work at it. You've got to literally say, come on in, we're awesome, literally by looking good. And this is where I picked up on the Red Scales Bake Shop. Now, they are a bake shop and a coffee store, but the windows are full of macaroons and colorful things, and they've got the red scales on display, and they've got things ready for the holidays, and they bake cakes for birthday parties and anniversaries, and you've got the entire sandwich bar laid out there for you, and you've got a variety of it. You've got the coffee section where you have a variety of flavors. Outside, it looks welcoming. I sat outside and had a cappuccino myself the other day, and it really was nice. I mean, granted, you're right on the street, but it was nice watching the people walk by. And I do believe just by me sitting there, the one or two people walked in to the store. So I don't know whether that actually helped them get business, but when people see that a business is active on the outside, you can go down and see the same type of thing if you're looking for clothes at Gypsy Found Objects or Papa. If you take a look at the windows or the mannequins they've got outside their stores, they're literally inviting people into their stores. You know, it's not just a blank window. They want people to come in, so they've got bits and pieces on display. And you make it as nice and comfortable as possible as you can, so people want to come in. I mean, well, I found 4 ways to improve your store's curb appeal. It depends on your store. They're not all going to work for the same store, but you want to bring color, you want to bring vibrancy. It's the same thing as Jason's Bakery down the road. And they're open a little longer. They do wines and they're open until late evening, 10 or 11 p.m. Whereas Red Scales is sort of like a early evening. I think they close at 7, open at 9 in the morning. So their morning, afternoon, they have a different vibe altogether. But if you go to Jason's, they've got the entire front area where they've got people can sit. They don't use it much during winter. And this is what I do think. I think winter is our downfall. Somebody like Jason's can probably, and the Red Scale will be selling and baking goods, and they will be selling them from online. People can order their cakes online. But when you want to go, you're going to the shops, or you on the way, or you just want to go to go out and get a different coffee. The nice thing is about our area is we are not inundated with just a bunch of same old coffee shops. It's not all Timmy's or Tim's Hortons or whatever. We have got unique bake shops, unique coffee shops, all with their own unique niche products inside. They're not all the same. They're all very, very different. It's just about getting the business across. If you take a look at the clothing, you take a look at Latina Dress or Papa. For example, Latina Dress only has a Facebook page, but they have a showroom website. So all the outfits and the ladies wear that come in store are online as well for sale. By sourcing locally manufactured goods, they don't have to travel too far if he needs to get extra stock because his online stock is selling too fast. You've got that. On the other hand, you've got Gypsy Found Objects, which is a very vibey kind of shop. It's mixed intergenerational because it's a retro shop. A lot of these outfits are from closing down stores and from businesses that have been around for years and have had stocks in their back for years because they've never sent them back. Business was done very differently in the 1980s, 1990s, and things have changed so much. I think a lot of businesses have found it very difficult to keep up and maintain. They don't have kids to take over and they're ready to retire. And that's leaving a lot of the empty shops. And when somebody new moves in, they have got to really up their game. And this is where, I mean, well, this isn't really a tax discussion. As a retail business or as any business, you are paying taxes and you are paying rent if you are leasing or mortgages if you bought the building and you're living above and your retail outlet is below. Now, if that is your case, you at least own the property and you're responsible for then making it as comfortable. 3 seasons. Should be able to shop all the way through autumn. We shouldn't have too many shopping days not off. We shouldn't have our shops and stuff closed because of a lousy cold winter day. We have to find things to do or to entice people to come and see us. And it's not just about special events. You don't have to do a special event every week. You don't have to have mummies and baby days in your coffee shop just to entice business in. It's a good idea to entice people in when you're first opening up, but that's what opening days are for. Then saying that you should be able to use your coffee shop however, if you're doing too much for one group of people, you will then find that you're not expanding your market. You can't focus too much on one market. You have to expand your market. Otherwise, the mamas and toddlers grow up. And the next generation doing it may want to find another spot. The elderly ladies who found that they're coming around to your place, they also, they change, they move, die, get ill, and things change and they have to go to closer to a place that's closer to somebody who can't travel so easily. These are all your store has to be ever changing, your retail has to be ever changing. You have to change with the market. You can't expect the market to stay stagnant because you're not prepared to change. And by staying stagnant, you're not going to have people walking into your shop or walking by. And your bread and butter money is going to disappear. And you're going to have stocks you can't get rid of. And another couple of stores in the area that applies to is some of our variety stores or the smaller dollar stores. They all have different names. I don't know them more specifically. But on Eglinton West, on St. Clair Avenue West, and on Oakwood Avenue as well, there are a few of these little variety stores that are hiding behind curtains, are open, but are never open in such a regular way you can go in. I have managed to get into 2 of them, but at such random times. And it's weird. I'm used to going shopping Monday to Sunday, any day of the week I was able to go shopping, whether it would be in the UK or South Africa. And Canada has very straight, I don't know whether it's just this neighborhood or whether it's across Toronto or whether it's across all of Ontario, Canada, etc. They have closing days. Now, hairdressers, yes, they always used to close on a Monday and a Sunday, fair dues. Doctors were always closed half days on a Wednesdays because it was golf day. Dentists often weren't open on Saturdays and Sundays and only open Monday to Fridays. The fact that some are open on Sundays now is brilliant. Public holidays, yeah, things were closed, but if it wasn't Christmas, nobody was that religious because all the countries I've lived in have claimed to be so-called Christian and Christmas people. But if you take a look at, yes, the economy has slowed down, but we go out to buy people things because even online it's going to be delivered to our house. Are we going to be there or do we have to sit now and wait an entire day indoors or waiting for this to arrive? Because just in my neighborhood alone, porch pirates are out. Well, they were out in force. I think now that we've managed to get back into the shops again, people are having less and less delivered because they can go out and fetch their stuff. The whole idea of going to order from something in store, like we have been doing for takeaways, and certainly for some of our neighborhood, even clothing stores, you order from the store and you drive by and you pick it up yourself. So there's no additional extra people to worry about waiting for. You're going out anyways, you might as well pick it up. Collaborative business is a good way to work, especially in a place like Toronto and in my area. The fact that there's a lot of small business, there's a lot of industrious people out there trying to do things that go beyond, working in an office and working for a big corporation. The creative entrepreneurs, the business entrepreneurs. And I'm not talking about the scam artists. I'm talking about the guys on the street there who work 24/7, 365 to keep their passion alive in a retail store on the street, whatever it may be, from clothing to a coffee shop to restaurants. Oh, and we do have a new restaurant in the area. I'm sure everybody's seen it down Oakwood Avenue. It's an Italian restaurant. I'm afraid I didn't remember to bring the name with me, but that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. However, I do know that I'm going to be taking a few weeks break because I've got 110 other things to do before Thanksgiving. So yeah, we have made it into the third season of this year. We started in the winter, January, now in September. And when we're thinking about our retail business, we just need to remember that hard work is there. Sometimes it's the simplest things. It's the bright colors. It's the things that get people into your store that will make your store more profitable. When it comes to online purchases, you've got 80% of your carts are abandoned before anybody actually pays any money for anything. You've got, in America alone, where they reckon it's over $1 billion in sales through Amazon every year, they have nearly $200 million stuff of product returned. And that's only going to increase both ways. And we only buy online because A, we're a little bit lazy, can't be bothered to go to the store, it's easier, we're just lazy. I mean, and I'm not talking about disabled people who are doing their shopping online. These people who need to get food in, they need to get bits and pieces, and they don't have ease of access like the other 85+% of us have, who are all capable of going to the store or driving or whatever the case might be, or not ill. Deliveries are great for people who are sick in bed. There is very much a purpose for the whole online stuff. It is a good service in so many ways, but relying on it for business, you have to put just as much money, in fact, if not more time and money into an online business than an in-store business. One of the biggest things is that usually online you think you can cope with that much more business. So your stocks are high, your warehousing costs are high. If there are different things, I will link in on the notes in the description some articles related to the differences. Yes, they're good and bad for both sides, but costs are actually higher running an online business. It might just be the postage. It might be because you're constantly having returns and not being able to give a replacement, where somebody will go in store and say, oh, this doesn't fit me, can I get another size? And well, I've got an online store as well, the manufacturer's down the road. So much easier to go in and talk to people. As a shopper, I prefer it. Don't like dealing with all these electronic gadgets. And I have heard that even an online business person tell me that it is easier to run retail. You have your eye on your product all the time, so you can easily see when things are gone. When things are stuck behind the back in a warehouse that you rarely go into, where you only get to go in and pick up a plastic box in a plastic bag and the hope it's got the right kind of stuff in, and this is what you send out to your client. You don't have those problems in store, either the customer or the retailer. So that is my bit of advice. Yes, it's of value as an add-on, an addition, an assistance, especially through the winter months when not many people do go shopping, when it's snowing up here in the north. Unlike the South Africa, people go shopping. We don't have enough snow down there for people to stop shopping. It's never that cold. It's never that extreme. So online shopping may never, plus they don't have electricity a lot of the time. So online shopping in South Africa is right out the window. So excuse me. So I'm going to take the next couple of weeks to literally say, I've gone shopping. In the meantime, please do like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I am Tracy McLean Lowe. This is T Junction, and have a great autumn. See you in a couple of weeks, and good night.